Hallelujah. This is the word. This is word of wisdom that came to me concerning Pastor Chris and what happened to one of his branches. That caught fire, as I heard on the news. I don't like to treat spiritual things, as if it's regular or worldly. No. Anything that happens to any church or any place that is called a place of worship, anything that happens to any such place is a lesson. It's not time to brag or time to criticize or time to boast or time to show your pride. No, it's not time for that. The word of knowledge that came to me concerning this that happened to Pastor Chris, the word of knowledge or word of wisdom, as you may call it, is Pastor Chris, my brother, anything can happen to anybody. Whether you are good or bad, it doesn't matter, okay? Good things can happen to bad people too. Remember what Jesus said? The rain falls for the good and for the bad. As far as we are in this world, there has to be some, problems sometimes. I remember not long ago, I parked my vehicle. The thieves came and, for the first time in my life, caught my catalytic converter. Anybody who drives may know what that is, or try to Google it. Catalytic converter that cost me a few thousands of dollars. All right, all right. To put it back, and the run around that goes with it. Okay, now it's a lesson. I saw that in my dream, but I did not take it seriously. I didn't know it was going to happen like that. I did not see the stealing, but I saw something happening to my car. But I didn't go and check it out. I went reluctantly, and I don't even remember praying over it. Now, Pastor Chris, there are things that happen in our life. We will know. Sometimes we'll perceive it. Sometimes God may show us some sign that relates to it. But depending on how serious we take those things that God revealed to us, will be the outcome of what will happen. In your situation, the word of knowledge that came to me concerning Pastor Chris is this. Everything that happens to a man of God has a lesson in it. Pastor Chris, there is a lesson hidden in this particular thing that happened to you. And I must tell you the truth. That lesson is for you, Pastor Chris, to learn. I humbly ask you to ask God, specifically, based on what I'm telling you right now, what lesson are you trying to help me understand concerning what just happened to the branch of Christ Embassy? That is what I'm giving it. I'm telling you this because it came to me as a word of knowledge. This is a situation where you have to humble yourself personally. Personally. You ask God, because there is danger that hangs around some certain things. When God gave us a sign concerning something and we fail to learn that lesson, that means we may end up encountering the same problem again. When something like this happens, the lesson that fire, that was a very big damage. Therefore, you have to take your time and look into it to find out what lesson God intends for you to learn. Dear brother, there is a lesson in that destruction. There is a lesson, maybe a personal lesson that you will have to translate to your other branches for them to understand. Maybe your own personal lesson that you may have to share within your family or within your church or in public too. I don't know, but there is a lesson in that fire. There is a lesson in that fire. And it's important that you find out what that lesson is. If God revealed to me what that lesson is, whether it has to do with anything like your teaching or your character or your way to handle some certain things or your way to manage things, if that lesson is revealed to me, I will tell you. But the message that came to me was that there is a lesson to be learned in that fire. Yes, because the day this fire happened, I think a day or a day before then, or a day after then that the fire happened, I saw myself in a dream. In that dream, there was a fire going on. I was running back to my house to go and I was running to the house to go and pick up my documents and whatever before the fire catch it. Now, when I was running, my mind was like, oh, I have a long way to run. I would rather run back to my car and then drive the car and run in, and that will make me go faster. But when I run to my car, pay attention, brother. When I run to my car, instead of driving the car, I pick up my Bible. The Bible I have in my car all the time. Yeah, this is the Bible. I have this Bible in my car all the time. King James. Okay. Now, I pick up my Bible, and then while I was running towards that fire, the fire was disappearing. And I was praying in tongue. I did not even know. I don't even have the interpretation. But I was praying in tongue. And while I was praying in tongue, that fire was disappearing. That was in my dream. A day after your fire, a day after the fire that happened. Yeah. It happened. While I was praying in tongue, then Pastor Chris, I don't know if this is your message. If there is some tongue that you have to get involved in now. You speak in tongue. I have seen you speak in tongue. I have seen you speak in tongue. Now, you can pray in tongue. You know what I'm saying? You pray in tongue. But the message I have, I don't want to miss it, was that there's a lesson for you to learn in that fire. That lesson, that fire brought you a lesson. Spiritual lesson, brother. Spiritual lesson. If it's physical lesson, I don't know. But it has to be spiritual lesson. But the message was, there was a lesson in that fire. Now, your responsibility now is to pay attention and learn, find out from God what that lesson is. You may have already known what the lesson is. I don't know. You may have already known. But there's a lesson in that fire. And as soon as you learn that lesson, the better for you. And the better for your church. You know how God works. You know how the word of knowledge comes. That is how it came to me. Now, there's a lesson for you to learn, brother. That's a lesson. That fire brought you a message. Look into that. You will know. You will know. Come on, you know how to consult the Father. You know how to consult the Father. All right? All right. Peace and love, brother. Peace and love. Now, like I told you, in that dream, while I was walking, I was persuaded at the time to bring up because I dream always, almost every day, somehow. God always reveals things to me, but I don't want to bring it always, in the, on YouTube, and before you know it, you have some impersonators, people, creating their own stuff in there, creating some fake. I don't want to do that, but at the same time, if I'm persuaded more to bring my dreams, because many of them can help a lot of people. I remember one time, is it last week or so, I had a dream about a man of God shouldn't go and pray, where I saw a man of God going to pray for a woman that he knew. And that man of God, when he went to, you know what? Let me not put it in this video, please. Let me keep that message to myself until I'm persuaded to send the message by itself. It should be personal. It should be one message by itself. All right. God bless you all. God bless you all. God bless you, Pastor Chris, and may God give you the strength to carry on. No matter how strong we are, whatever that hits us, all right, there's a way we can stagger sometimes. There's nothing wrong with staggering, you know. But the most important thing is to stand again. All right? You know, sometimes sometimes things happen to us. We ask God question. We ask question, why should this happen? I do this, that, you know, like Job. We all fall into that kind of temptation. It happens. You know, I'm a good man, I'm a this, and you know, why should this happen to me? I mean, you may not be that type of person, but at the same time, as a human being, the message that I deliver right now is the message that came to me as a word of knowledge for you. All right? May God help you, give you the strength, you know, to carry on. Peace and love, brother. Peace and love to all of you too that listen. Peace and love. God bless you all.